Alvin Viljoen from KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa, the place where we call a pickup a bakkie, which is a bowl. That makes sense, somehow. Right, what's news on our roads in KwaZulu-Natal, South Africa? First, the big thing. The Competition Commission this week gave the industry that makes and repairs cars until mid-March to respond to new guidelines on selling of parts, fixing of cars, and of course, warranties. Now, the people who build cars, they call themselves the National Association of Motor Parts Manufacturers, and NAAMSA, are up in arms about this. They say it's bad faith. They've been doing everything for the last few months to assure the country and the world that they are not price gouging us, and they are really doing their best to lower prices and give fair access to repairs. But the mechanics say that is all Taurus extremus. And for you Latiners out there, bullshit. Because as anybody knows who's ever fixed a car, the very same filter, the very same fan belt that you buy at the dealer cost a lot less, like hundreds % less, at any of the generic part sellers. And that is the crux of this argument. And the Competition Commission has now said, you people who make cars, it is time to give the owner of the vehicle the right of repair. And that is what is at stake here. The people who sell you the car think that they have the intellectual right, the copyright on whatever they have designed, and it sounds fair. But you have bought the vehicle and you have the right to repair this vehicle as cheaply and as fairly priced as possible. And that is the right that you are being denied with the price gouging, and there's no other term for it, that is happening in our industry throughout the world today. This right of repair movement have been coming along for the last decade, and it's a big milestone for them to get to a point where a governmental organization like the Competition Commission is saying it is time for the industry to be more fair, more transparent, and give owners the right to repair their own possessions, not at extortionate prices, but at fair prices. So, more power to the industry.
I've got a question.
You have.
So what happens, what impact does it have on the insurance?
The insurance companies are part of the problem. Especially when you go to a panel beater, there's a whole lot of collusion, a strong word to use, and I'll have to stand by that in court. But insurance companies and underwriters and the assessors and the panel beaters are all in it together to make as much money from you as possible. And it starts with the people who tow your vehicle and then hold it ransom for huge prices. The industry is really not in a good place. And as consumers, it is up to us and the mechanics that we trust to fix our possessions or our vehicles to fight the unfairness of it all. But it will have to start with buying insurance that is fair as opposed to insurance that is unfair. So how do they fit into this? It is up to us as consumers to take our business to the first insurance company that offer us fair pricing and transparent pricing, which is what the Competition Commission is saying they should do. Now, talking about rats in the industry, I would like to refer to another problem that is rearing its ugly little furry head in the summer months in South Africa. You'll also see this all over the place in Europe, especially in winter months when food gets scarce. The rodents come out and feast on everything plastic in your nice, warm, cozy engine. And overnight, 2 or 3 rats can totally destroy all the electronics in your car, as well as every pipe and everything that has plastic around it. Nobody knows why they eat plastics, these rats and mice. Some figure it since the industry have changed to bioplastics as opposed to fossil fuel plastics that it tastes nicer. Others say it's just because rodents' teeth are constantly growing and they have to gnaw to get rid of the long enamel. But bottom line is, if you leave your car for a week standing still and there is any chance of rodents nearby, there's a very good possibility that these rats will enter your engine and chew the plastics to bits. And with that, all the wiring inside the plastic. How to prevent this? There's an interesting series of books and advice, but one thing I can tell you is peppermint spray do not work. Best thing you can have are cats in your area. Some people have tried putting silhouettes of owls on there, but rats, like humans, have been around for hundreds of thousands of years and they don't stay fooled. You can fool one rat some of the time, but you can't fool all the rats all of the time. So peppermint spray and owl silhouettes are not the best solutions. Best thing you can do are traps, and some people also put heated or electric pads underneath their vehicles to get rid of the rats. But maybe the old feline solution, a cat or a terrier, these are the best solutions to keep the animals away from your vehicle.
I've also got a solution because I'm suffering from all those rats. But apart from the fact that I have snake birds all of a sudden in my area.
What is a snake bird?
It's a particular bird. It's like in the encyclopedia, the South African encyclopedia that I have in the home. It's that bird that's got that long neck, and that's got a black stripe on the side. And I saw it eat a frog live.
Gulp, gulp, gulp.
No. But yeah, that snake bird actually saves my life. Apart from that, I am there are these blocks, the blue blocks that smell like chocolate, and I don't know if they help as well.
Are they poisonous?
Yeah.
I have a problem with poison since I also have lots of other animals. But I like your idea of snakes, if not snake birds. Maybe there's something that our listeners can try, putting plastic snakes around the cars. It's an interesting thing. In South Africa, we often think that putting a snake in a car will deter the human pest with all our hijacks, but that has long fallen by the wayside. But maybe we can resuscitate the plastic snake in the engine compartment overnight to keep rats at bay. If any of the listeners out there want to try this and tell us how it works, would love to hear your comments on the link below.
All right. Question. Which is the best car to transport a soccer team? But in this case, we have umalume.
Umalume, for the people listening outside South Africa, are the uncles. That's the Zulu word for uncle. And we have got lots of uncles who, for anything from 5 rands a day or upwards, pick up your children from your doorstep and take them to the primary school and high school and back again. And it's really a reassurance for parents to know that their children are in good care and in good hands of a safe driver. Oftentimes, things go wrong, brakes fail, and people go down steep routes. But if you look at the number of pupils transported this way versus the very few accidents we have, I think the umalume deserve a lot of plaudits for the good work they're doing to get our children to school. The best vehicles for this would be the Suzuki Vitara, and I'm looking at Renault's new Triber, which is also a 7-seater that works very well. But most of the people use anything bakkie-wise, and as I said earlier, we call our pickups bakkies. And the children are seated in the back, often on wooden benches with no seat belts and absolutely no protection should that vehicle roll over. And I would like to recommend to all the umalumes, as well as mothers who have to do the soccer mum thing with a team or the cricket team, to consider any of the European or Japanese 7-seaters. The Renault Triber, the Suzuki Vitara, there are a slew of vehicles. Toyota is very popular with this, but please let's get our children in South Africa out of our bakkies and into a 7-seater with a seat belt to get our children safely to where they need to be, especially since we are selling thousands of new cars every day and our traffic is just getting more and more congested, and there's always some idiot somewhere who's going to do something wrong.
Thank God we don't live in Cape Town,
where they often are not aware that they're driving right now.
Thank you, Albane.
Thank you for allowing Albane to tune you straight on your car issues. We encourage our listeners to frequently ask questions on our Witness Facebook and Twitter timeline with the hashtag AskAlbane. That is capital A S K capital A L W Y-N. Psst. And guess what? There are giveaways. Sometimes.